Hey guys, this is Man Shark Sub LPs. I'm Sub, this is Europa Universalis IV, and this is episode 2 of the AI playthrough of, or Observer Mode playthrough of Millennia in the Making. Let's get going. So last episode I touched on a bit of Shadowrun stuff, just to completely diverge from what's happening in Europa Universalis, about the lifestyles. So I took all their lifestyles off and they no longer have those because the little fuckers have relocated from Boston to Arabia. But I am a generous GM, and so I'm compensating them for it. And for any equipment that they left behind in Boston, because some of them were a little bit pissy about losing a whole bunch of stuff. Basically, depending on who lost the stuff, whatever sort of hideout they find is going to be upgraded in that particular way. So, say the hacker character, like the hacker slash rigger character, say he lost a bunch of stuff. He didn't. He expressly didn't. He went so equipment light it was almost ridiculous, and any equipment that he has is stuff that he can carry with him, like software and things like that. So yeah, I'm not terribly concerned about this part of it. It's a shame because I would have liked to have given them these sort of upgrades to begin with. But you know, say he lost $10,000 or Nuan is the Shadowrun currency. Whatever they found would have 10,000 Nuan. Oh, excuse me, I'm having a bit of a reflux issue. Would have 10,000 Nuan invested in it for computer stuff, or robotics, or drones, or something in there. Maybe it's already got some network equipment, so it's got a little Wi-Fi, thing, or something that would assist his character and this character's development. Like, I think the character who lost the most is actually the troll adept who is now respec'd into a face because heavy weapon skill breaks the game when you take the grenade launcher and, go as high as an adept can go. And there were some disagreements about exactly what sort of campaign we were running, so I had to sort of enforce that and made him re-roll. So now we have a troll face, which is... the face is the social character. Trolls are not social characters, but we'll see how we go. The player also seems to have an obsession with negative qualities to get more points, but we'll see how that goes when it comes to it. There's a little bit of a war going on down here in Africa as we scroll around to check this sort of shit out. Mali's big. I would not be surprised if Mali was actually... Well, when I say Mali is big, Mali also does not have a lot of good land. The stuff around here is fine, but up here is useless. What's going on over here, boys? Yep, looking good. Japan has really taken over a whole bunch of Japan. And what about America? Yeah, not too much changing. Not too much really changes in America. I think I touched on that last time. The ones that are spread out, like the Blackfoot and the Shoshone, even the Pima, whatever they are, I don't know. They don't really do much because what can they do? They can sort of migrate around the place with their special mechanic. These ones in here, like the Shawnee, Cherokee, Chickasaw, Cree, that's where you get little wars and all that sort of thing. They did have one at one point, which is fine. But Europe, as usual, is where it's at. Just have a quick look at the political map. Q, or the diplomatic map, my bad. Okay, so they basically own Ostergotland and Gotland. Interesting choices. Still allied with the Pope. Personal union with Shalland. Oh yeah, very good, very good. Still at war with Volga, Bulgaria, but they're winning that one. Bit of winter going on. Yeah, so I think it'll be interesting. I don't expect them to find a stronghold, or their hideout in the next session. For Shadowrun, this is. But hey, they may surprise me. I mean, if they go to Razin prison, they can have that. It's still, you know, like 90 k's away from anything useful, but they can have it. It's a big building. Maybe they can get some sort of vehicle depot going on there so that they could just drive to Abu Dhabi. 90 k's is not very far to drive in the desert. The other thing I'm going to have to work with there is the desert is not kind to weapons, particularly guns. They jam up. There's a rule for that I found. But yeah, we'll just have to see how it goes. Hopefully everything goes alright. Plans for next session is to just let them do whatever. I'm going to write up a series of basic logic paragraphs, which is if they do this, then this happens. Nothing too special, of course. It's mainly going to be if they stay still, they get fucked over by scorpions when the night comes around. Don't forget, the nighttime in desert is freezing cold, like 5 degrees Celsius and things like that. Not kind. And of course, it's fucking hot during the day. The troll character will need twice as much water as anybody else because that's how trolls work. It's part of the penalty for being a troll. What's Egypt doing? No, it's Mauritania at war with Nubia. And speaking of Arabia, are they up to anything? No, they've truced out with some minor nations, and they've got some alliances going on. Cool. Looks like Turkey's getting united behind particular factions. So this is what should happen here. One country, or a couple of countries in a region will start dominating that region, like Norland up here, Karelia over here, though Karelia's land's pretty useless, so maybe Finland's actually the one dominating there. Chersonon and Cypriot down here. Nowhere in here yet, they're all about the same. Looks like Toledo over in Spain, not just because it's centralized, but because it does seem to have most of the land. And we're looking at Patau over here, though maybe Orleans has it because they own the Ile-de-France. So yeah, that gradual expansion from tiny little ass shit nations. Polotsk got fucked over in our war with them. Our war, I say. Yep, looks like France won that war, so it's probably another personal union in there. If they took it. Moldau. But Moldau was always large. But yeah, those larger nations will slowly accumulate the other smaller nations until, you know, until they're there. And they've got the ability to press on. I swear to God. Yeah, France is never getting that HRE ship back. Oh well. What can you do? We're just watching. We're not trying to do anything for them. Excuse me. I guess Volga, Bulgaria just take some land. No? Okay. No worries. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting session. Just have to see what goes on. A little bit of a rebellion over in Ireland. Munster nationalists, that could be an issue for them. I doubt it. Great Britain should have a great, pardon the pun, amount of lockdown on their lands. Gonna zoom out just a little bit so we get a bit of Africa in the action as well. Let me know if the resolution's too big for you guys. I mean, I know you're watching it on a tiny ass little YouTube screen, unless you're maximizing it, which, in that case, I don't know how the bitrate's going for that. I didn't even check the last episode's file size, but I assume it's about 1 gigabyte. Which is what the normal millennia in the making hour-long episodes were, so we might be looking at half-hour episodes from this point on, just because 1 gigabyte takes me about 3 hours to upload, maybe 2.5, and I ain't got time for that. I want to play Minecraft sometimes. I can't play Minecraft because it's a server one, if I'm uploading, because the uploading just murders my connection. Who's occupying this land up here in Karelia? Kurland. Kurland, this little bastard down. Really? Jeez, I thought Karelia was doing alright. Just not. Let's check out Central Asia. Yeah, Turkestan throwing a bit of weight around. Not terribly surprised. How's the subcontinent going? Bengal's getting up over Orissa. Gujarat and Afghanistan are going at it, though Afghanistan's also trying to deal with Turkestan. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. Portugal has started colonizing. Perfect. Perfect, we've got colonization happening. Not the best place to start colonizing because that aggressiveness and ferocity is massive, and I doubt they put an army on it. The AI very rarely puts armies on its colonies to try and secure them. It's something I recommend the player does. I mean, you could secure this one with 5,000 infantry, it wouldn't be an issue. The ferocity is a bit of an issue, but 5,000 infantry would take care of that. Particularly if, you know, you had a couple of units of cavalry in that mix as well. But the AI very rarely secures colonizing land. Which, honestly, is kinda good, because otherwise the AI would steamroll through colonies. It's telling us that we still have that land selected down there. Just gonna hit escape to see if we can get rid of it. There we go. We paused the game for some reason. Hopefully that hasn't been paused for too long. I don't think it has been. Must have paused when we hit escape. Cool. Yeah, so I'm kind of hoping that the players either head north to Abu Dhabi or east to the prison. It's perception checks in the desert are a little weird. You get a bonus to sound perception checks during the daytime and a negative to visual, because sun, reflection, etc. At night, you get a pretty good, like a pretty decent bonus towards seeing light sources. Visually, of course. Because, you know, there's nothing in the desert, basically. I'm also going to have some paraplants or parabotany around the place. I was pretty sure one of them would have taken ranks in knowledge parabotany. That's just magical plants sort of thing. The only one I managed to find in the splat books, which I haven't read through all of them yet, you know, come on, I'm a busy man, was some sort of tree which has fruit, which when you eat it, it calcifies your body, so you basically turn into bone. Which sounds fucking horrible, to be quite honest. It also doesn't really sound like anything I can put in there as an obstacle for the players, because if they eat the fruit, game over. I mean, presumably there'd be something that you could do to stop it, but not out in the middle of the desert with only a couple of first aid kits on hand. And I'm pretty sure there are no cactus in Arabia. That's an American desert thing. I'm gonna have to just look up the actual, like, flora of the Arabian Peninsula and make up some shit. Which I can do that pretty easily. I'm good at making up shit. And, yeah, put in a few animals for them to see. There's Bedouin tribesmen. Bedouin? There are tribesmen on the peninsula that don't particularly care whether you're you know, a follower of the Islamic religion or not, unlike in the cities, though I've specifically put them near one of the cities that don't particularly care too much about that. It's mainly Mecca, Medina, Mecca you can't get into in Shadowrun unless you're a Muslim. Medina is the head of a caliphate, so there's an issue there. But Dubai and Abu Dhabi have very relaxed rules. They've got like little enclaves of Christians and Jews and atheists. It's just, don't go around telling people that Islam is wrong in the Arabian Caliphate, because they'll fuck you up. Got religious police. But yeah, they shouldn't have too much of an issue there. The troll might see some discrimination, as might the orc. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, as might the orc, so we'll see how that goes. And yeah, so the tribesmen don't particularly care too much about your religion or political affiliations. They're traveling traders. Very clan-based, very territorial though, so, you know, wander through one tribe's territory with the wrong tribe, you gon' get fucked. And not in the good way. It looks like Corellia just took a bit of land. Cool, cool. From Biamia. Sicily just lost a bit of land up north. They're presumably in a truce, because I see one of their wars just ended. And Mauritania is getting fucked over by Mali and Egypt yet again. Let's have a look at them. Show the province, thank you. Yeah, so one war, at war with Egypt, Mali and Sardinia, over the Egyptian conquest of Constantine. And the Egyptians are at war with Mauritania, Aragon, Toledo and Lower Lorraine. So a couple of places that don't matter. And the target. And they're at 33%, so Egypt is going to win that war. No problems. And good old France is in a war again with Dalmatia, Slavonia and Spoleto over the Bosnian conquest of Rashka. Yeah, so just a few little wars happening, nothing big. But that's basically what the Holy Roman Empire is in our game here. It's a fuck ton of little countries having little wars, little squabbles with each other, until a few of them get big enough to really rock the boat. I mean, France is already big enough to rock the boat, but the AI is fucked up. Although I'm not really sure... Oh boy. Not really sure if you can call it fucking up, because... Well, they're not at minus 100 prestige anymore, but... Those uncontested cores... Oh, that's interesting. France controls the Pope. And so they're Curia Controller. And Defender of the Faith. Not bad. Not bad. What's Great Britain up to? Whole lot of not much. Great. I think France probably also lost a lot of its initial troops. Oh, Vladimir just got up a bit. Lost a lot of its initial troops to attrition because they were all sitting on Venice, and they shouldn't have been, but that's just what the game decided on. If you remember way back to like the first episode or the second episode, that was one of our priorities, getting all the troops off Venice and somewhere where they could actually be sustained. But, yeah, so they may have fucked that up, I don't know. Looks like Damascus might be our Middle Eastern power down there in the HRE area. Damascus or Tigris? Honestly, Persia will probably swamp them because without us there as France to deal with Persia, it's quite strong. Which same could be said for Volga, Bulgaria. Not Turkestan because we don't have a border with Turkestan with the HRE. Perm is useless. And other than that, you've just got to sort of look at what the others are doing. Algiers has been released as a nation. Must have been part of the Egyptian Mali War. And it does look like Portugal's little place down here. Still not great. I mean, they've got a really reduced chance of stuff because it's a arid place. But you know, they're getting there. They're getting there. Unless the natives attack them, they should actually have a pretty good go at that. Yeah, so it was hitting escape, but paused the game earlier, so we haven't been paused for too long. Looks like France is occupying little bits down in everywhere. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, I'm still allied with the Pope. Little spots of land all over the place. Yeah, it's fine. But Great Britain's allied. Oh no, they've got a royal marriage with Anjou. They're allied with Normandy. And allied, yes, so they've basically made alliances across the channel. I wonder if Great Britain will invade the HRE by diplomacy or military. And I wonder how that will go. It could be very interesting. Yeah. Looks like France is moving into the Balkans a little bit. That's Serbia that they own. Or Serbian. There's no threat from America, of course. The main thing over here will be when Britain and Portugal decide to finally start colonizing it. Or, you know, get the range to colonize it. And then we'll see how well they go, if they do at all. You can see here there was a bit of movement. The Ojibwe, whatever, the natives here used to live down in Crete here. They've now moved up to Nunavik. Honestly, not a great move. Not a bad move, but not a great move. They might be looking to get around. Oh, it's going to take them forever though, and all these places are shitty base tax, sorry. But if they could get around here without going through the Sioux and Cree areas, that would help. Acadia is actually quite a nice place. Crimea is fully occupied by Moldau. That's surprising. That happened very fast from the look of it. Or I'm just inattentive. Honestly, could be either. Okay, so what do we got? Alania is dealing with a lot of rebels of various shapes and sizes. I wonder why. Brunswick and Brandenburg took out the Hansa. And I think there's still the Emperor, yeah. Georgia and Brandenburg are being backed for the throne. France has expanded even further down here. Good, good. Leon and Toledo will be our Spanish individuals. Egypt took more land off Arabia. Kilwa's doing pretty well for itself down there. Kilwa might actually be a good one to play because they don't get colonized for a long time. Because the Europeans have to go all the way around the Horn of Africa to get to them. And the Muslim nations, well, the nominally Muslim nations, Arabia is Catholic at the moment, and so is Abyssinia, and the subcontinentals don't really fuck with them. So maybe Kilwa would be an interesting African choice. Maybe. Yep, Moldau almost destroyed Crimea. They forced them to release Lucamore and took some land themselves. I'm kind of surprised that Turkestan and Volga Bulgaria haven't hit up the Oirat or Chagatai hordes. That's easy land if you can get it. Shit land, but easy land. Norway got released. And how's the Pope doing? Pope looks like he's at war. He's attacking Florence. Good on him. Did France back him up there? Yeah? We've also rivaled Brandenburg and Persia. Got a coalition against us. Brandenburg has a big coalition against them. Yeah, if I were Brandenburg, I'd be watching the fuck out. Wow. I wonder why that is. I mean, probably because of, the fucking phone. Probably because of, aggressive expansion, of course. That's how you get coalitions, but... And I guess they did expand a bit, but wow. And you also got to remember that they don't have the they don't have the player bonuses that we had, so there's that. However, France has just expanded some land around here. Montenian, a little bit more land in Epirus, and a bit more land up here in Hessen. Just have a look at political map mode. Yeah, there you go. Even some land over here in Armenia. It's cool. I think they just picked up another bit. Would not be surprised if they get a bigger coalition. Yep, there's a large coalition against France now. Now, when you're in observer mode, and I don't know if this is still the case, something you want to avoid is trying to make any diplomatic actions towards anybody. Because it will crash your game, if I remember. Well, France is also warning a lot of people. Six, 6, and 5. Well, how does that compare to the others? 5, 5, 6, 6, 4, 7, 6, 6, 6, 6, 7, 4. Yeah, as long as we're sort of above people in terms of military, which we're not really. A lot of them have 6. Get some more military power, France. Then, you know, we can sort of say, yeah, that's good. Looks like Karelia is stomping Bialmia again. Oh, more power to them, more power to them. Yeah, Jerusalem's getting stomped by Egypt. And Damascus. Yep. Yeah, I'd say they might be gone in a moment. Were they an elector? Yeah. It's going to be interesting if they wipe out Jerusalem to see who becomes the next elector. So currently we've got Brittany, Georgia, Jerusalem, Tigris, Valencia, Shalland, and Västergötland. I will forget those. Damascus and Cyprus. Well, as soon as this siege ends, which we might as well just watch through, that will be all of Jerusalem taken by Damascus, and then if I were them, I'd wipe them out. Just because I would like to see who Brandenburg dominates as the next elector. Come on, guys. They've got their maximum siege progress, so 35% chance of winning. There it goes. Ah, they left him alive. God damn it. If they wiped them out, it would have been very interesting because it would have taken out one of Brandenburg's backers. Of course, Brandenburg would select somebody who would back them. But, you know, maybe they would have fucked up and not done that. Who knows? Oh, it looks like Karelia is getting attacked by Norland. And Biarmia. Well, they're already at war with Biarmia. Is that 2 wars or just 1? 2 wars. And they're losing both of them now. Right, so with that in mind, it's actually the end of the episode. So, like it if you liked it. Put a subscribe on it if you want to see more. And, yeah, we'll be back with episode 3 in a bit. So, I have been Sub. You have been yourselves. Later.